Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to my channel. So, for you, maybe a day or two have passed. For me, just a couple of minutes just to gather myself from the last video that I shot, which was the unboxing of the Chanel No. 5 L'Eau hand cream and body cream. Delish. So you could check out the unboxing and quick review and first impressions of this little beauty in the description box down below. I will also post a link at the end of this video. But it's story time. Story time at Chanel. Yes, so come with me to the Chanel boutique and because I received a phone call. Or no, was it a text message? Phone call? I can't remember. It was a while ago. Um, my sales associate said, Dacob, cream arrived. The Chanel No. 5 that you pre-ordered is here. So I'm super happy. I rush over to the Chanel boutique and I start talking to the wonderful, wonderful lady who was there. And we start talking and she already knows that I'm really into Chanel and she understands that like a lot of the things that I tell her, when we first met, when I first started working with her as a client, you know how they are. Usually, if they don't know who you are, like if they don't know what your passion is for Chanel, if they don't know how much you know about this brand, then they tend to be detached. They tend to not come across as if they wanted to educate you too much, but at the same time they're ready to give you information. I don't. It's a weird situation, but then the more they get to know you, and in particularly, in my case, like I say certain things, and I see her eyes light up, and she's like, "I didn't know that." And then when the kind of the whole situation turns around, and then the sales associate starts asking me questions, then you know you've won them over in a way because you understand that you're both passionate about this brand and the heritage and the history. So to cut it short, we're at this point now, this lady and me, where there's an authentic enthusiasm when it comes to exchange of information about the brand. There's no more playing around and like, her telling me, Deco, but something new is coming out, but I can't say anything. She says what's coming out, because then we comment about it. And then I say, oh, I know, because my people, you guys, told me already, because the second you have news, I receive a lot of information every day, and you are the best in the world because, like, the fashion bunker, I'm on my bouncy ball again. It's not a ball, it's a secret thing, but it's bouncy. The fashion bunker community is the best because the second you guys have some information, you send it to me immediately. Either direct message me on Instagram, Super Dacob, all spelled together, or on my Twitter, also Super Dacob all spelled together. Sometimes even on Snapchat, Super Dacob all spelled together. And then also via email. So also Facebook. So I get all this incredible information, or when I do live streams in the chat section. That's where I found out from you guys. Thank you so much. There's going to be 3 L'Eau exclusives, cologne editions, or cologne perfumes within the Les Exclusives range in limited edition, coming out soon. So all things like that. So basically, we were there talking about the Le Blanc series that's only available in Asia, and the cosmetic, the color palettes, and the stuff that they have. And I said how amazing I thought it all was, and that I, wish it were available worldwide. And we're talking, and the little hand cream is there, and then we were talking about the Les Exclusives. And then at one point, now, mind you, the boutique is relatively empty, but it's one of those like beauty boutiques, so it's really illuminated. You have the feeling you're at the butcher. Too much light, too much light. But I guess for makeup, you need light everywhere. It's a bit too much for my taste. A bit more dimmed would have been better. But anyway, so we're in this scenario where I'm anyway ADD, and I'm super excited because I'm in the world of Chanel, and there's all this light everywhere, and I'm just all over the place. And I'm talking, and we're all enthusiastic, and it's relatively empty, as I said, and there's just her and another salesperson, and one more client. And then Dacob has radars everywhere. I have eyeballs. I'm like a chameleon. Not that I can, well, I can also change, my appearance, but like my eyeballs can just like go in the back of my head. Like that's what I can do. And I'm like, two guys come in. And the second they come in, and this is maybe because also I'm used to being, bullied and bashed since I was a kid, for what I wear, for how I look, for how I behave, for all sorts of reasons, because I just am who I am. But sometimes people just don't like you for who you are, and they just think they have the right to call you names for that. So I'm just because since I'm a kid, I'm used to that. I'm always alert and aware of everything, constantly. And you should be too. You should always be very aware of your surroundings. So I'm there talking with her in one corner, and on the totally opposite side, these two guys enter. And the second they enter, all the hairs on my back, I don't got none, but you know what I mean? Like they'll go up like, and I tell her, keep an eye on those two. I don't like them. And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, they're up to no good. She's like, oh, really? Oh, thank you. So she's really sweet. She's like, can I leave you for a second? I'm like, sure, I can actually help you. So I'm like there also, like I literally, it's so cool. We were like a team, So she walks to the front of the door. These two really horrible individuals, like they were properly dressed, but it's just, that sixth sense, that survival instinct when it kicks in and there's trouble in the air. You just feel it. You feel it. Are you feeling me? And so she goes to the front. She blocks the entrance door. They're already kind of walking in. And so she kind of blocks the entrance door and is like walking towards them. So she's here. I'm here. They're there. And I'm like blocking this side. And I'm like looking at them, and she's here. And as she walks to them close, one of the guys didn't notice her. She's really tiny. He takes a bottle of COCO Mademoiselle Intense, puts it in the pocket. She goes, hey. He takes it out immediately, leaves it, puts it back on the table. And she's like, I think you should better leave now. I saw what you just did. And these two baboons literally laugh in her face as they leave. Like, they knew they got caught. Obviously, they do this constantly because the way that they reacted was like they were not shocked. They did not give an F and F about the fact that they were just caught red-handed. Mind you, this boutique had no security. There was nobody at the door. There was no bouncer at the door. So, things could have gotten really nasty really quick. But these two, they were like, like they literally laughed in her face, like as if they were going to say, as if they meant like, oh, we'll be back. Bye. Oh my God. Listen, I'm all about, never give up on love. I'm all about embracing everything. And, if somebody's starving and they go to a supermarket and they take food because they're going to die if they don't steal that food, that's a different scenario. But, you're like dressed well and you're stealing a bottle of perfume. No, I have absolutely no. There's no excuse. Really, this is like, you know what I mean? There's like a level for everything. There's a situation for everything. I know we live in a capitalist world where a lot of things are considered privileges that shouldn't be. Nestle, I'm looking at you wanting to sell water. You know what I mean? Like water should be free for everyone. But I digress. This is a situation where I don't like the word tolerance. I said that in many videos, but I'm lacking another word, a better word, like rather than tolerance. This is like where a side of me comes out that is like a misanthropist. Dacob comes out in that moment because I literally feel like I don't like humanity in that moment. I find it so rude. And it's not even just the gesture per se of like wanting to have that bottle of perfume, and you can get caught in the moment and, and you snatch it and then you get caught and then you're embarrassed. Like even that I don't justify at all, but like I can understand the appeal and the attraction of an object like that. But what really gets me going is that smirk and that kind of cringy smile at like that. These two guys just literally just like smile into her face like, bitch, will be back again. That's where that's where you lose me. I go bananas because that's, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? That goes beyond all of that fascination for this object. And I don't know, somebody gets a kick out of being able to snatch it or whatever. It goes beyond all of that possible, which there is no justification for it, as I said before, but it goes beyond that. When you start mocking a person that actually is doing their job, because I mean, they're supposed to actually support the clients and help them choose something and talk to them about the product, and then that's their job. Their job isn't, having to deal with dangerous individuals that mock them when they get caught stealing. Oh my God. Anyway, that's the story, and I'm fuming right now just when I relive it, because I mean, what would you have done? Like, what would you have done? Some of you might be thinking right now, oh, well, she should have kept them there and then called the police. No, you don't know what these guys have in their pockets. You don't want to die trying to protect a bottle of perfume. You got to also be clever. I think she did a good thing. She was like, you guys better leave now. I saw what you did. I think it's better that you go. Rather than being all up in their business and being like, no, you're going to stay here. I'm going to knock you down. I'm going to call the cops. Because you never know, you don't know how these individuals will react. So you do feel passive in a way because, like, as I said before, I think she reacted properly. I mean, I was there too. I was also ready to help. But she handled it perfectly. I have to say it was amazing how she handled it. And they literally left immediately. Obviously, they've been in a situation like this before, these two thieves, where when they get caught, they just got to leave as soon as possible to avoid any, repercussions for them. But it just makes you feel so violated. They didn't manage to steal anything in that moment, but a night has passed. I have slept. I did have a bad dream. I dreamt that somebody stole from me. And these things really get to me when you witness a crime like that. It really gets to me, and I feel so vulnerable in that moment. I feel like, oh my gosh, you can't trust anybody. Everybody's out to get you. Everybody's out there just thinking about themselves, but in function of damaging you for their own purpose. And that's just disgusting. I don't have words. Vulgar. It's beyond that. It's just not just lack of education, lack of respect, lack of culture, lack of humanity. It begins with these gestures, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then at one point, there's a homicide. You know what I mean? And oh gosh, it makes me feel so fragile, vulnerable, and powerless, because they were not educated. They were caught, and then they just, with a smirk, laughed in her face and left. It's not that like they learned their lesson or that they kind of opened their heart and that it's not like they saw a human being in front of them that they tried to trick. They didn't see her. They didn't perceive her as a human being. They perceived her as an obstacle, between them and their goal of stealing this product and probably reselling. I don't know what they were going to do with it. And that's what makes me feel so powerless, when I see a human being disrespecting another human being to such an extent where this other human being becomes invisible to them. Wow, and subconsciously that really works on me, so that in fact I took it home with me, and I had this nightmare of somebody. Basically, the nightmare was this. Story time again. I'm at some party in some bar, and I know a couple of people there, and it's a really full bar party, a lot of young people, and so some people are sitting on the floor, some are sitting on the chairs. People are all over the place. It's really a lot happening. It's summer, it's warm, you're not wearing much. I have like my Chanel bag with me. A Chanel bag that in my dream, it was some colorful Chanel bag that I don't really own, but in that dream, it was a beautiful Chanel bag. And for the love of me, I don't know why. I was so stupid in the dream, but I left it on the floor, and then I like stood up and went to talk to a friend of mine, and then when I came back, the bag was gone. Could you imagine somebody stole my bag, and usually in my dreams, if I try to kind of yell to say like, thief, thief, no voice comes out. And so I lost the voice. I felt like Ariel, the mermaid. I got my feet, but I got no voice. And so I was trying to kind of figure out how to solve this issue, and the bag was gone. But it wasn't just the bag, you see, and this is where something clicked in my head. It was my identity that was gone, because in the dream, I was traveling, and so I had my passport, all my documents, my keys from my house, everything, you know, my life was in that bag, and that was gone. So I managed to get the voice back to talk to the owner of the bar who had a microphone, and he then said to the whole bar, like, hey, at least give back the passport. And then I woke up, sweat pouring in sweat, super like hyperventilating, anxious as I don't know what. And I went to the bathroom, and I took a shower, cold shower, just like to freshen up, drank a coffee, sat down, and said to myself, Dacob, it was just a dream. It was just a dream. Come on, snap out of it. Very Cher, Moonstruck, you know, snap out of it. And then slowly I recollected, of course, that dream, because I just witnessed that scenario the other day. Telling you, it's horrible when you experience human beings being so respectless to other human beings. Wow. Anyway, this was my storytelling video. I hope you enjoyed it. We came out of it alive and together, as we always do, because we never give up on love. So guys, if you like this video, thumb it up. Let me know if you have had any experiences similar to this one, or other experiences you want to share in the comment section down below. And also, if these experiences had any sort of repercussions in your dreams, or if it you know, caused any sort of traumas lingering on afterwards. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'll repeat it again. Despite all the odds, we never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.